c'est the team.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is Monday, December 11th. We got the year coming to a close in just a few weeks. Very interesting day as the market stayed strong, but for the first time since I can remember, the Magnificent Seven stocks, they were the weakest on the board. Before I get into any of that, Bennett, happy birthday, man! You got any? You doing anything fun over the weekend?
No, so thank you. I noticed before I started like my first gray hair, so I actually officially feel I'm actually getting old over there. But no, I posted in the chat. I was just moving a ton of dirt in my backyard, so that was the highlight. Nothing too exciting. Just some old man stuff moving dirt.
Anyway, you get any birthday love out there? You know what I'm saying?
I will say I've been rocking this thing, and it's been definitely a good luck charm.
You want to show the camera a little bit closer about what you showed them right there? A little, some wrist wear, huh?
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
There you go.
Honestly, I like this over the Rolex. This is like,
yeah, it's low key. I like the 38 millimeter.
Yeah, just very subtle. It's hard to tell from a video, but it's in person. It's very clean.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
But yeah, birthday was very low key. Just trucking out a shit ton of dirt. So we got a tennis court hopefully coming in. Hopefully in the spring, we'll see.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean that was the goal. Like I flattened the backyard, and it's, but when I first moved in, I had a half basketball court, like a super old school one from like the 80s, like that like those like big pole, like that if you ran into you'd be knocked out.
Oh yeah.
And we ripped that out, and now it's just all flat. I'm gonna probably do like a grass court because then I don't have to like pour concrete and like less permits from my town that I'll have to get approved for. So if there's a grass court, there's like a certain like level you have to cut the grass to, so you don't like bust your ass. But that's the goal for the spring is to have like a little tennis court going. So
I love it. Yeah. All right. Well, I have nothing exciting going on in my life, so I'm just gonna get right into the charts. All right. So we had a very interesting day on our hands, and we didn't realize what was going on until about midday later in the day. So let me bring up the heat map. So you can see, the Magnificent Seven stocks: Amazon, Tesla, Meta, Google, Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, all very down big. And it's Eli Lilly, and I have a feeling it has to do with the same thing. They came out with a new rule over the weekend for rebalancing, which is Friday. They're going to put in the new names to the QQQ. The new names, we went over this earlier. Do you know? I know they're kicking Zoom out and something else. What's in? DraftKings? Is DraftKings in? We talked about it this morning.
It's in the chat. I don't
Whatever it is, it's not super important. I know Zoom video's out. You had a funny statement say, through just 2020, imagine Zoom getting kicked out. I remember guys calling me when Zoom was at the top saying, I need to get in the stock. Like, what should I do? I was like, don't buy that shit. Yeah. But regardless, so very interesting day where they changed the rebalancing rules. So you can only have a certain amount in your fund. And funds had to pretty much decrease their holdings in those Magnificent Seven stocks by Friday. So anticipate the slight weakness in those names for this week, but I would expect them to fully recover. Here's a very interesting chart. Here's the QQQ, and you can see we're up almost 1%, 0.85%. There was a point today where the QQQ was green, and all those stocks were down 2%. It was very interesting to see. The QQQ equal weighted. Look at this. It's up 2% on the day. And look, after hours, it's up another percent. So, you can see the rotation out of the big names into the more speculative and growth stuff. And that's a theme we've been seeing play out in the market as the small caps have, gone on this run and continue to turn around. And it's made for a great trading environment. So I'm going to be completely focused on, the more speculative, more small cap, kind of the high flyer stocks. So, check in on 10-year. 10-year sold off a bit today after that little bounce. Beautiful downtrend we got going. This is amazing. And the rest of the week, we've got a lot of news on our hands. We got the CPI tomorrow. That's always going to drive the market with news. And then Wednesday, we've got a Fed meeting where there's a rate decision. They're not going to raise or lower rates. 99.999% chance of that. But we'll just see what the reaction is and always what Powell has to say. I'm going to kick it over to you if you want to hop in some charts or give us a market outlook. Give us the goods.
I'm going to give you the bads, no, or the bad, just because you've definitely touched upon a lot of the good stuff. Big thing, really, is the one sector that we want to continue to avoid seems to be this energy, just getting no love whatsoever from this market rally, and just continue to see, so it'll break down. This is broke major support, so energy definitely seems to be a big avoid. It seems like it pretty much has to retest the 2023 lows before we're going to get any real bounce out of the sector. Again, broadly, huge flag. So it's not like this is like doom and gloom. It's just in the short term, seems like energy is an avoid. I think it is pretty surprising that that the market continues to break higher out of this little retest from July highs, which is great for us to see. Again, it just seems like the broader indexes, SPY, the Qs are all trying to work towards those 2022 all-time highs, which at this point is kind of like a chip shot where, a month or two
It's
ago.
funny that you call it a chip shot now, and it's like, it's still like a large percentage, not large, but like, that's like half a year on average for the S&P, right?
But just given like the run
before February.
Yeah, just like this, just like, relative to the run it's had, another 20 points from here where, we've already ran, 40 points in the last month or so. It doesn't seem, like if we were talking about this like a month or two ago when we were down in that correction, it's like, oh yeah, any year all-time highs, we would both be like, what the hell are we talking about? Where now, we have this little flag pushing through highs. It's, a few more percent away. And with this 10-year in this breakdown stage seems to be the main, reason, for that. But again, everything else sector-wise, everything's pretty strong. Really quick, a couple names that I'm in. Few actually from your shakedown from last week. This FTDR was one of your shakedown names. Got in this one last week through 35. Again, very textbook bull flag here. We'll see if tomorrow we get a push to that 36 area. Snow, another one of the shakedown ideas from this week. Got in that with some of the guys as well today. And this SNX, which I'm basically just trading the shakedown from last week. Got in this one through 100 and on Friday and just moved this up to break even. So those were a couple names. Again, shouts to you, Shake, for those. Those are all working well. And that's really it on my end. Send it back to you if you have any other trades or ideas you want to go over.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I mean, while you're talking about energy, it's always nice to have a short on the radar. I was looking at this VLO short. I think that's a nice little bear flag. We're so focused on the longs right now, but we have any market turn. Could get a little bloody. It's always good to have a short on the radar. VLO, energy looks terrible. Below this 121. Looks like it gets pretty dusted. So this is my favorite chart in the market right now, this IoT. I've been waiting for this stock. It did this on its last earnings, and we thought it was going to be the start of the big run. And then it waited an entire quarter, did nothing, and then it had another great report and began the run. So the reason that, I love this chart so much is it's because it's one of the best charts I've ever seen. The stock makes an IPL high here at around 31 bucks and just kind of bases out. I know this looks like a huge dip or cup or whatever, but in the grand scheme of things, it just becomes a massive base until it takes it out. It's just people acquiring stock, getting ready for that move. And what made this chart pattern famous was, of course, Meta, which is now Facebook. But, this was the name that had the big IPO breakout. And, obviously the very similar dip. And all these earnings reports, you see these earnings down here where, the stock's getting dusted. They were filled with growth. They were, typically what we would consider as great earnings, revenue growth, monthly active users, things that are very important to social media companies. All those things were flying, but the stock never caught up until it did. And then what happened? It went on, the run of all runs. It went $40 to 200 in a very, very fast time relatively. So when we see those type of moves, you got to respect them. So this IoT, why we love these earnings, we love these earnings, we love these earnings, we love these earnings. They're all showing great growth, revenue growth, huge future projections, raising guidance, everything, we want to see. And now the stock is finally catching up. And sometimes that's what happens. If you read William O'Neill's book with CanSlim, How to Make Money in Stocks, one of the things he talks about is sometimes it takes a few quarters for a stock's earnings, for a stock's action to catch up with the earnings. For what reason that may be. Maybe funds need to, load up on the stock, or, it just takes a little while to get eyes on the stock. regardless, I think this is my biggest focus right now. I added a little bit on Friday. I bought this breakout, I sold some into the top, and then I was able to buy some Friday. And now after an inside day, I'm going to definitely load the boat through this 34.50, 34.70 area if we see that action tomorrow. And how I'm going to trail it is this 8-day simple moving average. And this trade, so quarter by quarter, different things happen, different patterns happen. And you have to really, take note of that, of whatever that pattern is, and take advantage of it. This quarter, we're seeing all the DraftKings, Roku's, all the names of yesteryear really, really come back. And they're going on such crazy runs, it's tough to get into the stocks. So I'll show you. Let's look at that Roku, okay? It began its initial run here. Let the 8-day catch up. Boom, gets on another run. Let the 8-day catch up. Boom, gets on another run. Now the run's probably slowing down because it broke the 8-day to the downside. But you can see what I'm saying there by buying off the 8-day. Let's look at this Affirm, okay? Affirm popped up early November with the rest of the small caps, rides the 8-day, and it doesn't even look like this is doing anything. These were huge gains up to this 27 area. We had an alert. We had an alert right here, and I didn't buy it. And every day I look at this stock, and I'm so upset with myself. Has a little inside day there. The alert was to buy through the inside day high because the 8-day caught up because we're seeing that pattern so much. And what happens, Bennett? It goes insane. Oh my God. It went 27 to 42 bucks, and I didn't buy this because I thought the run might be over. I thought this was like, looking at this chart, it's like, nah, that's too much. Like, that's too much. And the run didn't even happen. That's what's the sick part about these momentum stocks, is when they really catch that run, it's insane. So the pattern of, names letting the 8-day catch up, I am anticipating this to, begin its next run because it let the 8-day catch up. Another one I'm looking at is this Path. This one is coming out of a massive, massive base. Gapped up. I was able to get involved off the 8-day. So look, same thing. I missed it last week. Pulls into the 8-day. I don't buy it directly off the 8-day then. It opens up the next day, puts in a low at 23, and rips through that high. So I buy 23.50 with 50 cents risk. Really nice entry. And now, if this one goes into a breakout phase, it could get really silly. So I'm definitely involved and most interested in all these growth names. This ARM I got in Friday. This gave us a great entry, but kind of a real bitch today.
Friday, I remember you called out like 9:31.
Yeah. Cause I was sitting at this chart, and this is before it broke. I'm sitting there Friday. I'm like, all right, we got this beautiful cup. It's got this like a kind of a handle right here. It's working on a little cup and handle. But then I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this is this sloppy action. What does this really mean? So here's the IPO day, and here's the IPO high, 66.28. Then it comes in the next day, gaps up like crazy, but just sells off. So when moves happen like this, from a technical perspective, I'm not looking at this candle as much. I'm looking at that was just exit liquidity. We didn't really learn anything about buyers and sellers, except that, if it gaps up to that level, sellers are willing to take profit there. But if I erase this candle, this flag is happening right around the IPO high, right around the high. Not perfect, not exact, but how much do we love IPO highs? I just went over that Meta, that IoT, that
I was just gonna say, like, that other favorite, like anything with an IPO, it's like IPO high set up through all. It's like
it's a cheat code in the market that I'm very surprised that isn't out there more. And I wonder if it gets blown in the next few years because it's become a very, very easy trade. So I'm looking at this. Obviously, the best entry was out of this mini base, out of this little cup, right through that 56 area. But since then, it's just consolidated so nicely. Then it has this beautiful shakeout. This is what got me really interested. I missed this day because I was moving, and everyone was so down on the market this day. Last Wednesday, let me type this out real quick. This Wednesday, where the Qs gapped up and sold off all day. All it did was sell off into this moving average support. Didn't even take out the prior day low. So I was like, okay, this is clearly a situation where they're trying to frustrate buyers into missing the next move. So it has a tight little inside day, and then I get long through that. And I didn't really kick too much. I only kicked maybe 20%, probably only 15% of my position into this at the end of the day. So I'm holding on. So today sucked, down 3.5%. But if this can hold on to this move, consolidate, and to break that 69, I think this thing's in the 80s very soon. So definitely focused on that one. This GTLB. This is another one of those names coming out of a huge base. Sick gap up on earnings. And now what are we waiting for? We're waiting for that 8-day simple moving average to catch up. ESTC is another one of these names. And now this one's a runaway. I don't know if it's going to let us into this trade. But I was going through the earnings names. This has been such an amazing earnings season. Look at this GoDaddy. We were talking about this when it came out. It was like, wow, what a move coming out of a 5-year base. Okay, 5 years the stock spent consolidating. And then it finally has the earnings. I want to bring it out to the base. But look at the run after. Look at this 8-day action. Look at that. It just glides up the 8-day simple moving average like nothing. It like 85 to 105. Barely had a red day in there ever. So you hone in on these these earnings winners, and you can find some really great action. Oh, this Duolingo is another one on my list. I'm in this one, but I'm smaller. It hasn't given a great entry. You look on the weekly chart, Bennett, you're going to be surprised to hear this. Guess what it's taken out?
IPO high.
It's taken out its IPO high. So we look for those stocks because then it's all price discovery. There's no resistance. These names can run and run and run and run. So this one, still flagging out. I'm in it small. My out is the bottom of this flag. So we'll see how this one breaks off. Those are the main ones. And then, of course, the trade of the week was this Tesla. I didn't realize the rebalancing this week, so that's my fault. Tesla, it's probably gotta wait for that rebalancing. But I think it's just going to wear some people out until it takes out. This 250 is just... I'm just going to keep a buy stop through 247. And wherever it triggers from, I'm going to be involved no matter what. That's like a can't miss trade to me. Other than that, busy week news-wise. Focused on those few things. I'm in a lot of stocks, so it's not like I'm coming here super active every day. We've got the year ending in 2 weeks. You don't want to, go too hard. We've had some serious gains these past 6 weeks, so I definitely want to protect that. Other than that, just focusing on a few names and enjoying the good run.
I got two quick ones just because we kept talking about the IPO highs. One isn't an IPO high, but the other one is. So we have this. We were talking about last week. I was talking about this Cisco, and just this little base, nice little breakout. But this Dow setting up somewhat similar through this 52 lower beta, calmer name, but Dow 30 again. Dow 30 names have been very strong lately. Dow 30 has just been on fire lately. So this thing wants to play a little bit of catch up, keep it on this 52. And then again, we've been talking about these IPO high setups, this PECO through this 3650 REIT name. Again, REITs have been kind of out of favor for most of the year, but as the 10-year has now finally started to pull back a little bit, and we're starting to see the first time of mortgage rates coming down. If there is any love back to the REIT sector, again, IPO high area, through this 3650 has been setting up for, nearly 2 years. There's been, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major attempts at the 3650. So again, we've been talking about these IPO high setups, keeping a close eye on this 3650. Lately, the last time it got up there, pulled back to 32. Lately, this most recent attempt has pulled back, just about $1. So, buyers definitely stepping up. Earnings aren't until February, so plenty of time until earnings. So just another one I'm keeping a close eye on with that, similar with buy stop through those all-time highs. So other than that,
all right. Let's end the year strong.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of ending the year strong, tell them.
Well, I mean, we don't have a date yet, but we do have the awards being made.
The first annual Trading Experts end of the year award ceremony. We're figuring out the specific number of awards we're going to give out right now. We've got a lot of people we can give it to. It's been a great year, so it's very tough. But we're taking this very seriously. We're not just handing them out left and right. We're looking at the guys who really, really, went head and shoulders above this year. So, getting some awards made. I think we should do it that week between Christmas and New Year's. Everyone's kind of home doing stuff. Maybe we do it, late afternoon here. Maybe it's more of a night thing there. People are home. I don't know. We'll leave it to the guys.
Yeah,
But
we'll
and
figure it
ladies.
out.
But very exciting stuff. We'll do this every year, and it's something to work for everybody. We got some.
I think it's
got
just
some great stuff.
I think it's just hilarious that like this is what like year 6 or 7, and like this is the first year we thought to do this.
Well, we've talked about doing it every year, and last year we talked about getting trophies made, and then we just kind of ran out of time.
Yeah.
And this year it's a perfect year to start. We had a lot of great things happen, a lot of big things happen, and the group, the core group is really we're blessed to have such great traders who come in every day, and are ready to go.
At least these
So-
trophies, I will say, they do look pretty cool. So even though it might have taken us a couple of years to think to do this, at least they're not like some tchotchke like when you play like intramural basketball and you get those little like at least these ones look pretty cool. So that'll be something to look forward to. Other than that, again, if you guys, those who have already gotten the pre-order list, thank you so much. We've already pre-sold, I think, 41 out of the 100. So we'll hopefully have these shipped out probably, I would say, in February. Beginning of the new year. So anyone who still wants to get on the list, just let me know. You still have quite a few left.
Cool. All right. And with that, like, subscribe, all that good jazz. You got any questions for us, hit us up, and let's finish this year strong, guys. Talk to you next week.
All right.
Yes.